They didn't have a plan for anything to talk about. Did you want to discuss
not
anything
really,
specific?
No, I just kind of thought, seeing as we've both been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, we should probably air our thoughts, particularly as some of us have been getting up at ridiculous o'clock in the morning to play it. So,
I am a farmer. What do you want me to do?
So some of us may be a little bit more obsessed than others. But,
I need help. It's a problem. I was talking to Dean about this, like on the podcast, and you know how that whole opening hit home a little bit too much. Like the whole, you're in the job, type at a computer all day, realise maybe I should probably let it all go and go farm.
Do something with my life. Wasn't somebody dead in that scene as well? Isn't it like
yes, your grandfather.
Oh no! After your grandfather dies, in that when it like pans across to your desk, I think the next.
Oh yeah, there's a booth where there's
a dead
just a skeleton. Like
yeah. No, I like it. I've really actually. It is very Harvest Moony. There's no getting away from that. I mean, it's obviously he's tried to clone it, but then it's kind of got the whole Starbound graphic system behind it, which is quite cute. So I like to imagine that one of those planets that I went to and colonised, then became civilised, and now I farm it for the good of the people.
Stardew Valley had that very typical, the Harvest Moon thing where everything at the beginning is so hard and so pointless.
Oh my god. Can we talk about fishing? How much I hated fishing.
I didn't understand fishing at first.
Fishing was just... I was prepared to throw the game out the window when I first started fishing because that was just awful. It was so difficult. It was ridiculous. And now it's like I've got like this massive bar and I just kind of... Some of them I don't even have to do anything. I just sit there and like, yeah, whatever. It's a carp. It doesn't want to come in.
Yeah, and being like too broke to even like really afford anything good. Yeah. So it wasn't until sort of like about the autumn of the first year that really started to like make a real profit or anything. Before that it was just the eternal struggle.
Of the farmer.
Of the farmer, yeah.
It was a real, kind of real graft to get going.
Yeah.
Spent most of the time foraging bits of vegetable off the land.
Yeah.
I didn't realise until autumn that I could put water in my pet's bowl, which I'm surprised that it didn't die.
Your pet doesn't really do anything though. I mean, like, you just, every time you pat it on the head, it just has a love heart and then that's it. You just...
Yeah. Have you got a cat or a dog?
I've got a dog.
I thought you might. I've got a big ginger Tom.
I have a dog called Poochie.
Poochie? Mine's called Miso, I think. But talking of names, my god, the names that my chickens have got.
My chickens have got ridiculous names as well, just because I couldn't be bothered.
Sneemo and Foos Foos.
I think I've got like Fletchley and Cuckoo and Jut or something silly like that.
The randomised names are just brilliant. I was going to give them all cool names, but then the randomised was just so bonkers that I couldn't turn down the opportunity.
So, do you have you have chickens?
I've got chickens. I've just got my first ducks. And I've got 2 cows, and that's it for now.
I have a lot of chickens, 4 chickens, 4 ducks, 2 rabbits, 4 cows, and 2 goats, and I'm not sure how I'm going to feed them all when winter comes.
It turns into a graveyard.
I built loads of silos and I've been filling them with like grass, hay. So hopefully that's enough to get them through the winter. I haven't done the math.
Have you not been through a winter with any of your animals?
I didn't have animals last winter, no. So yeah, I'd had nothing. So after all of that hard graft, like in the first 3 months of the year, and it suddenly got to winter, it's like, what do? I don't have anything to water. There's like
I know, exactly. So then you've got all this free time for like mining and fishing. And just generally wandering around. That's when you're supposed to get it on with the locals. Who are you currently trying to woo?
Oh, I'm married.
Oh, you're
I'm
married.
married.
You don't mess
yeah,
around.
No, I don't mess around. It's just tell you, which of you eligible bachelors and bachelorettes am I going to go for? So I went for Sebastian.
Oh, I just knew it. When I saw him, I just knew you'd go for Sebastian.
He likes board games and he reads sci-fi novels. Like, he was a natural choice.
He lives in a basement.
I wasn't gonna go for anyone. I was gonna be like, you know, single lady on the farm type thing. But then I found out that your partner helps you with chores. So I was like, get in, all right?
Get your
I was
own
like,
personal
hey, Sebastian, I brought you like loads of quartz and amethyst and sashimi. You like me now, right?
Isn't he like Frozen Tears as well? Because he's like massive
emo, yeah. He likes Frozen Tears like the best.
Frozen Tears and just staring at the lake smoking.
Yeah. But
like, find him at night by the lake.
But he was like, so again, I spoke about this on the podcast about when I first like started like romancing him. Essentially, you know, you get those like cutscenes where every milestone cutscenes, and then he'd be all like, you know, I sometimes I just want to get on my motorbike and drive away from this valley. And then he's all like, oh, and one day I'm just going to leave this place and never look back. I really want to get away from here. I'm like, I want to lock you down into my farm because I want someone to help with the watering. I've just destroyed all his dreams. But it's quite sweet now because he's like, oh, he's like, I never thought that I'd like life in this valley as much as like, you know, I would. And you're really helping me come out of my shell. And I'm like, yeah, but you ain't watered my crops today, have you?
I mean, can't you just build those auto water? I've just got loads of those auto watering things. And then I'm like, yeah,
it's not just, this is the principle, damn it. Because the only reason like I got married was so that they could like, you know, help around the farm. So I read that, you know, they would help with like a random chore. So whether that was repairing your fences, watering your crops, or like you know, looking after your animals, right? But he doesn't really do any of those things. he like watered.
That's because he's a massive emo.
He watered my crops like once.
He's having a fag out back, staring at a rock or something. He's probably in the mushroom cave, thinking dark thoughts.
I didn't get mushroom cave. I got the bat cave.
Oh, what do you get from the bat?
Loads of fruit.
Just grow trees, man. Well, I'm ready to lock Harvey the doctor down because he seemed like the only choice.
Really? Why was he the only choice?
Everyone else was just like a child. I'm not robbing these children. I mean, Sebastian was living in the basement of his parents' house.
But he's a programmer. He has a real job, damn it.
Sam is like living with his, and he's like jamming on his guitar and playing on his skateboard, and I was just like, no, they're all children. And then there's like, you know, 80s Fabio who lives on the beach with his fantastic hair. I was like, no, he's older, but no. So Harvey is really the only choice, unless I you know, I go for one of the ladies, but none of those are particularly interesting either. They're all little girls, so maybe Leah. I don't know.
She's an artist. She's cool.
Because Shane was like, when I first met Shane, he's completely unromanceable, which is I was gutted by because he was the one I went for first of all, because he's like just get lost. I'm gonna. And
you're like hard to get, are you?
I'm like, yeah, I like a challenge. Here, have a beer, have a pizza. And before you know it, he's now like, he was my first bestie. So, but I'm not allowed to romance him, and that's just so unfair. I thought he was maybe with Pam because they're both like grumpy and like beer, but
isn't she like his aunt or something?
Yeah, no, he's living with Marnie in the ranch, but I don't know what his problem is.
Well, his problem is that he works for Joja Corporation.
Yeah, that's true. He's miserable. Yeah. I'm assuming you went down the good route with the community hall rather than the selling.
What, the corporate sellout? Did you corporate sellout?
Yeah. No, I did not. Look at that cute little bubbly thing, whatever that thing's called. It was too cute. No, I didn't go corporate sellout. I was tempted, but I stayed with the.
Yeah, I stayed with the good route.
Have you finished yours yet? Then you must be.
I'm close to finishing. Like 1 or 2 things left. Oh, that was it. Truffle. The truffle was the last thing I need. The chef's bundle.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's pigs, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've just upgraded the barn, and I don't know how they're all going to survive the winter. I'll just be up at the ranch every day, like buying hay.
Coming back with bundles of it under your I know, I've got 2 sides. Yeah, because Robin is the slowest worker in the world. If you get her to build anything on your ranch, she's like there going bang, bang, tink.
I think the villagers are more interesting than they ever were in Harvest Moon. Like Harvest Moon, they felt very, very one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean they do still have they're on a bit of a loop in terms of what they say.
Yeah.
I mean Harvey just talks about the flu all the bloody time. I'm like, I don't care, mate. Have your coffee. And I don't know, because see, this is the thing. Once you get into the second year and you're kind of repeating it through, like the festivals and all the rest of it. I just went to the egg festival. Bloody Abigail was there. And and it's just, I don't know. I do get a kind of like a burnout with these sorts of games.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know there's loads more to unlock, which is cool, but
yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going to stop or when I'm going to stop. I mean, the community centre is nearly done, which presumably means that I've nearly unlocked everything, I guess. I don't know. The cavern is like the skull cavern's a nice sort of extra bit to do, but then when it's so hard to get iridium ore, just I don't know.
And then what would you do? Would you just upgrade all of your
and then that's it. I mean, that's always the problem with this kind of like perpetual life sim game.
Where do you go?
I mean, I could upgrade my house, get a really pointless child who doesn't do anything to help on the farm either. I mean, it's not even
just another mouth to feed.
It's not even like
how will you get through the winter?
It's not even like Harvest Moon where you could get like those little spirits to help you out on the farm or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like everything sort of comes from you, or you build like sprinklers or auto feed system in your barn. You got to upgrade your barn, all that sort of thing. I don't know, it's cute, but 59 hours, 50 odd hours in, and I'm thinking, what is my life?
Yeah, exactly. And that's like I say, that's exactly what happens with The Sims and things like that as well. It's like you suddenly realise that your sim has a far better lifestyle than you do, and you're like, go to the gym, go seduce all these people, go do all that, and you're like, what the hell?
Sitting in a dark room, playing
making this tiny computer character's life perfect at the cost of your own. Yeah, there's something a bit wrong with that. But that said, it's good fun, and I think I prefer it to Harvest Moon, and because it's just I don't know, I just like the like I say, I like the kind of twisted sense of humour of it. Harvest Moon was always just a bit clean cut.
Yeah. It's just at one point I was kind of expecting, like in Pokemon, there to be the big reveal that Jojo Corporation is the ultimate evil and you need to take them down in some form or fashion, maybe by farming, I don't know. So...
Take my turnips. Well, yeah, I kind of felt like that you would put them out of business somehow by making Pierre's the best store in the world.
Something, yeah, but I'm beginning to think that maybe there isn't. I mean, like I said, 59 hours in, I'm like...
And no big
reveal. You're like, no big reveal rather than... No big reveal other than you've wasted 59 hours of your life.
Other than you could have done something else. You are no closer to the cure for cancer than you were 59 hours ago. Well done you.